There is a fascinating, though often debated, legend surrounding Luqman that speaks to his deep knowledge of nature. It is said that Luqman was not just a philosopher, but a master healer. He understood the language of the plants. As he walked through the valleys and mountains, the herbs and flowers would speak to him by the will of Allah, revealing their medicinal properties. "I am a cure for this ailment," one would say. "I relieve this pain," another would whisper. Through this divine inspiration, Luqman became a legendary physician. He healed the sick and eased the suffering of the people. But the stories go further, venturing into the realm of folklore. They say Luqman sought the ultimate cure, the elixir of life, or a formula for longevity that would push back the boundaries of death. For years, he compiled this knowledge, writing down the secrets of the botanical world in a precious notebook. The legend tells us that he finally found the formula he was looking for. With the notebook in his hand, filled with the secrets of the earth, he was crossing a bridge over the Missis River. Suddenly, a gust of wind, decreed by the divine, swept the notebook from his hands and carried it into the swirling waters below. Luqman watched as years of work disappeared into the river. While some interpret this as a tragic loss of the secret to immortality, the people of wisdom see a different lesson. It was a reminder from Allah. True immortality does not belong to this world. This life is fleeting, a temporary bridge we must cross, not a place to build our eternal home. The knowledge was taken back because the decree of death is written for every soul. Luqman, with his deep insight, understood this. He realized that the true elixir was not a potion to keep the body alive, but wisdom to keep the soul alive after the body turns to dust. The legacy of Luqman, however, is not built on legends of lost books, but on the solid foundation of the Quran. Allah loved this humble servant so much that he immortalized his advice. In Surah Luqman, we find the curriculum for raising a righteous human being. This is not just advice for his son, it is advice for all of us, especially in the confusing times we live in. The core of his message is Tawheed, the oneness of Allah. "O my son, do not associate partners with Allah. Indeed, association with him is great injustice." Luqman understood that the root of all anxiety, fear, and corruption in the world is the detachment of the soul from its true creator. When we prioritize money, status, or the opinions of others over Allah, we enslave ourselves. Luqman, who knew the pain of physical slavery, wanted to protect his son from spiritual slavery. His advice extends to the social and the personal. He tells his son and us to establish prayer. Why? Because prayer is the anchor in the storm of life. He advises him to enjoin what is good and forbid what is evil, and to bear with patience whatever befalls him. This is a formula for resilience. Life will be hard, people will be difficult, disasters will happen. Luqman teaches us that the weapon against these trials is sabr, patience, and unshakable faith. But Luqman's wisdom was also incredibly practical. He spoke about manners and humility. Do not turn your cheek away from people in contempt, nor walk upon the earth with insolence. Indeed, Allah does not like the self-deluded boaster. In our modern culture of selfies, showing off wealth, and seeking fame, these words cut through the noise like a sharp sword. He reminds us to lower our voices, comparing the loud, harsh voice to the braying of a donkey. It is a call for gentleness, for dignity, and for grace in how we carry ourselves.
What is your favorite advice?
There is a
from
profound
Luqman?
narration where Prophet Dawood asked Luqman how he reached such a high status. Luqman replied with simplicity, "I speak the truth, I fulfill my trusts, and I leave what does not concern me." Imagine if we applied just these three principles today. How much more peaceful would our lives be if we stopped scrolling through the drama of others, stopped gossiping about things that don't concern us, and simply focused on our own integrity? Luqman also gave advice on physical health that aligns with modern medicine. He warned against eating upon a full stomach, stating that it is better to throw the food to a dog than to stuff oneself when already full. He advised on sleep hygiene and moderation. He viewed the body as a trust from Allah, just like the soul, and taught that maintaining physical health is a form of gratitude to the Creator. The scholars of Islam differ on whether Luqman was a prophet or a righteous saint, wali. The majority view, including that of Ibn Abbas, is that he was a wise man, a sage given hikmah, wisdom by Allah, but not prophethood. This distinction is important because it shows that wisdom and closeness to Allah are accessible to anyone who strives for them. You don't have to be a prophet to be beloved by Allah. You have to be sincere, grateful, and wise. As Luqman grew old, having lived, according to some accounts, for centuries, or perhaps just a blessed long life, he continued to teach. He settled in the region we now know as Turkey or Palestine, depending on historical sources. He passed away, but unlike the notebook lost in the river, his true legacy did not disappear. It was preserved in the hearts of the believers and the verses of the Quran. So, what is the secret of Luqman? It wasn't a magical plant or a hidden potion. The secret was gratitude, as the Quran states in the beginning of his story, and we had certainly given Luqman wisdom and said, "Be grateful to Allah." Gratitude is the key to increase. Gratitude is the elixir that turns a small life into a vast one, and a temporary existence into an eternal reward. Today, as we navigate a world filled with distractions, arrogance, and spiritual emptiness, the voice of the wise African sage calls out to us from the pages of history. He calls us to simplify our lives, to silence our tongues, to humble our hearts, and to connect deeply with our Creator. He teaches us that true honor is not in our lineage or our bank accounts, but in our God consciousness, taqwa. We hope this journey into the life of Luqman al-Hakim has illuminated your heart. His story is a testament that Allah raises those who humble themselves. If you found benefit in this video, please support Islamic Light Stories TV by hitting the like button, subscribing, and sharing this wisdom with your family and friends. Help us spread these lights of guidance to a world that desperately needs them. Leave a comment below. Which piece of Luqman's advice resonated with you the most? We love reading your reflections. Until next time, may peace and wisdom be upon you all.
Imagine a man so wise that the Creator of the heavens and the earth honored him by naming an entire chapter of the Holy Quran after him. He was not a king living in a golden palace, nor was he a prophet sent with a new law. He was born in chains, a slave with dark skin and rough features, yet his words possessed a beauty that outshone the most precious diamonds. Who was this mysterious figure who walked the earth for 1,000 years? Did he truly discover the lost elixir of immortality that humanity has searched for since the beginning of time? And why, out of all the mighty rulers and conquerors of history, did Allah choose this humble man to teach us the secrets of a peaceful heart? Welcome back to Islamic Light Stories TV. Today, we are not just telling a story, we are embarking on a journey into the past to uncover the life of Luqman al-Hakim, Luqman the Wise. His story is one of resilience, of rising from the depths of slavery to the peaks of wisdom, and of a legacy that holds the cure for the spiritual sicknesses of our modern world. But there is a mystery here. Legend says he held the secret to eternal youth in his hands, only to lose it to the wind and water. Was this merely a myth, or was it a divine sign teaching us a greater truth? What did he whisper to the plants, and what did they whisper back? Stay with us until the very end, for the advice Luqman gave to his son is the very advice you and I need to hear today to find tranquility in a chaotic world. To understand the magnitude of Luqman's wisdom, we must travel back over 3,000 years to the 11th century BC. We find ourselves in the upper basin of the Nile River, a land of ancient power and scorching sun, known today as the region between Sudan and southern Egypt. This was a time of turmoil where empires clashed and human life was often valued at nothing more than the price of a few coins. It was here, in the land of Nubia, that Luqman was born. He entered this world at the bottom of society's ladder. He was born into slavery. Historical accounts describe him as a man of distinct African features, dark skin, thick lips, and flat feet. To the arrogant eyes of the society around him, he was just another face in the crowd of the oppressed, expected to labor, obey, and remain silent. But Allah creates what He wills, and He places His secrets in the hearts of whom He chooses. While others saw a slave, the angels witnessed a heart expanding with light. Luqman's childhood was not filled with laughter and games of ordinary children. It was filled with silence and labor. Yet in that silence, something profound was brewing. While the world around him was noisy with war and greed, Luqman found his companionship in nature. He didn't just look at the world, he observed it with the eye of a seeker. When he slept under the canopy of the stars after a long day of hard labor, he didn't just see lights in the sky, he saw the majesty of a creator. It is said that while other slaves lamented their physical chains, Luqman was freeing his mind. He realized early on that true freedom is not the absence of shackles on the wrists, but the absence of shackles on the heart. He possessed a unique quality that is rare in today's fast-paced world, the ability to listen. He listened more than he spoke, and he reflected more than he reacted. This deep, contemplative silence was the soil in which the seeds of his wisdom began to grow. One of the most famous stories regarding his path to freedom demonstrates the sharpness of his intellect. It is narrated that his master, testing this young man's reputed intelligence, ordered him to slaughter a sheep. "Bring me the two best parts of it," the master commanded. Luqman did as he was told and returned with the heart and the tongue. The master was intrigued, but wanted to test him further. A few days later, he ordered Luqman to slaughter another sheep, but this time the command was different. "Bring me the two worst parts of it." To the master's surprise, Luqman once again returned with the same two organs, the heart and the tongue. Confused, the master asked, "I asked for the best, and you brought these. I asked for the worst, and you brought these. How can this be?" Luqman's answer was a timeless lesson in human psychology and spirituality. He replied, "There is nothing better than these two if they are pure and good, and nothing more wicked than these two if they are corrupt and evil." This was the moment his master realized that Luqman was no ordinary servant. He was a man who understood the essence of the human condition. The heart is the vessel of faith and intention, and the tongue is the interpreter of the heart. If these two are rectified, the whole person is rectified. If they are corrupted, the whole person is lost. Following this display of profound insight, accounts tell us that his master granted him his freedom. Luqman, the slave, was now Luqman the free man. But his journey was only beginning. After gaining his freedom, Luqman did not seek wealth or power. He sought knowledge. He traveled north towards the blessed lands of Palestine. It was a time when the world was blessed with the presence of a mighty prophet and king, Dawood, or David, peace be upon him. The meeting of these two great souls, Dawood, the prophet king, and Luqman, the wise sage, is a pivotal moment in Islamic history. Luqman lived in the era of Prophet Dawood and witnessed his miracles. Yet the relationship between them was defined by profound respect and the etiquette of wisdom. One day, Luqman entered the workspace of Prophet Dawood. Allah had granted Dawood a miraculous ability. Iron would soften in his hands like dough without the need for fire or hammer. Luqman watched in silence as the prophet manipulated the metal, weaving links together to form a suit of chainmail armor. This was a technology never seen before. Curiosity must have surged within Luqman. What is this? What is it used for? How are you doing this? These questions would be on the tip of anyone's tongue. But Luqman held his tongue. He waited. He observed. He knew that questions asked in haste often lead to incomplete answers, but observation leads to deep understanding. Hours passed until Prophet Dawood finished the armor, stood up, put it on, and declared, "What an excellent shield for war this is." Only then did Luqman smile. He had his answer without asking a single question, and then he spoke a sentence that has echoed through the corridors of time. Silence is wisdom, but very few are those who practice it. This interaction highlights a key aspect of Islamic character, patience and the discipline of the tongue. In a world where everyone rushes to speak, to tweet, and to comment, Luqman teaches us the power of waiting and watching.